Let's talk about the forward position though. Dwane Casey eventually sees Isaiah Stewart playing the 4 over the 5. There's a tweet by Omari Sankofa the second. He says Casey and Isaiah Stewart improve shooting. Eventually, he's going to be a power forward / center. That way around, not the other way around. I guess my question is, what do you want to see more from Isaiah Stewart at the power forward spot? If he is going to be a 4, like I get 3-point percentage. We want to see that. We want to see more consistency. But what else would you want to see from Isaiah Stewart at the power forward position?
I remember our very first podcast when I was talking about Isaiah Stewart. I said, for me to take him seriously, I need to see that 3-point shot go in. I don't know if you remember that. So I think for him to play the 4, he has to be a respectable 3-point shooter for this to work. Because I think all Pistons fans, they love Isaiah Stewart, but their biggest gripe with him is he's 6'8". He's an undersized center. And to Casey's point, I think Casey knows that. He wants to see him play the power forward position. To your question, what does he need to do? Just keep hitting that 3-point shot, because if he's a stretch 4, that's going to open up your whole offense now. Because obviously you're going to have Cade and Jalen at the guards, and you already have Bojan at the 3. If you have another 3-point shooter out there on the perimeter, now you got to pick your poison. Am I going to guard Cade? Am I going to guard Bojan? Am I going to guard Jaden Ivey? Or am I going to guard Isaiah Stewart from 3? You saw the Raptors in that game. They weren't really respecting his shot, and he knocked down a couple 3-point shots. So I think for this to work, for him to become the starting power forward, he's just going to have to hit that 3-point shot at league average, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's not really much more because he's already so good at like switching and the way the Pistons I saw someone break this down, I believe it was Motor City Hoops, that the Pistons, they switch 1 through 4 and they've been dropping the center. So that would make more sense if you have him playing at the 4, because I'd rather have someone like Duren or even really someone like Bagley dropping at the 5 because they're better athletes. Even though Bagley's not a better rim protector, he can just get up there over Isaiah Stewart. So yeah, this might just completely change the defense as well, having Isaiah Stewart at the 4, because you're now having a more athletic player play that 5 spot. But yeah, outside of 3-point shooting, I can't really think of anything else I want to see from Isaiah Stewart at the 4, because I mean, man, I don't know. There's not really much more if you can ask. He does everything so well. He's just out of position.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about Paul Millsap when I was looking at Isaiah Stewart playing the power forward when I saw this tweet. Paul Millsap, when he was in Atlanta, he was a very good power forward. But Millsap didn't really shoot a lot of threes. He's more of a mid-range type of power forward. But I think if you kind of want to go one step further, I think Isaiah Stewart needs to develop a mid-range game too. Develop more of a post game. Develop more of a, I'd love to see some post fadeaways, because his jumper is probably one of the smoothest jumpers on the team. Like, I think every shot's going in when he shoots it from 3, but that's just me. Like, it just looks so pure that I was just like, man, that shit's going in, but sometimes it doesn't. But I think if he develops more of a post game and develops more of a mid-range game, then this could definitely work.
I think he has a pretty good post game. He has some good footwork. I just don't think he gets enough touches so much in the post, but rightfully so. I mean, you're not going to feed Isaiah Stewart when you have Cade and Ivy and, Bay and Bojan and everything out on there. So it makes sense, but I'm looking forward to it. I said this when we first started doing this podcast. I expect Duren and Stewart to start and be kind of like a poor version of Al Horford and Robert Williams in Boston. Like, while they're young, I mean, I believe the potential is there to be greater than those two, but that's what I expect. And in order for that to work, Stewart's going to have to play the 4.
Yeah. So we have a comment from Ryan, because he wanted to contribute with this topic, and I thought it was such a good comment. He's talking about Antonio McDyess. He was a very good Pistons power forward. We're kind of showing our age a little bit, but I love McDyess. He said McDyess elbow shot.
Yes. Yeah. Dude, you talk about a guy that had a jumper that I thought that you think Isaiah Stewart's shot was going to fall every time. Antonio McDyess from the elbow. Oh my God, dude. I thought that was as consistent as I feel like Tim Duncan's shot from the elbow, but his was just a bank shot. Yeah, wow, that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I think to David's point, yeah, Stewart should watch Antonio McDyess tape, because I feel that the mid-range shot is kind of a lost art in today's NBA, because so many NBA teams are so hyper-focused on three-point shots. Like, you look at most box scores for NBA teams, 35, 40, sometimes up to 50 three-point shots a game. Like, the mid-range shot is still valuable to me in today's NBA. I mean, you look at Cade. Cade loves that elbow jump shot. It's like we're comparing him to DeMar DeRozan a couple podcasts ago, but I mean, Stewart wants to really, lock into this power forward position. I think watching Antonio McDyess, you mentioned Tim Duncan, watching some of these power forwards that, had a post game. Dirk Nowitzki, for example, who Casey did coach as an assistant. I mean, there's so many power forwards that he could watch. Kevin Garnett, who's a really good power forward in the post. Like, I think Stewart has the possibility and the potential to, turn into kind of like a very good power forward. If he watches the tape, if he puts the work in, we both know he's going to put the work in, but it's exciting to think about.